Shalom, Kol Haloyim, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachakudash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. Yeah, so last week, I believe also from MSN.com, I went through an article that talked about 22 different threats that you have to watch out for in an economic collapse. And I got this article also from MSN.com. It was also sent to my email. And this one says 17 signals that the economy might be in big trouble. So last week, like I mentioned, that article talked about different threats to watch out for in an economic collapse. This one is showcasing the fact that America could be facing an economic collapse and showing 17 signs. And as we go through each of them, I'm not going to read the description because it's kind of common sense. Most of it is. But this just gives us a sign and lets us know the path that America is going towards. We already know that America is going to be completely destroyed. There's going to be a time of Jacob's trouble. Well, now we can look and measure the times, like the scriptures say, by bringing out certain articles like this, and we can just do a quick comparison. What's going on in the world? What do we see? What's happening? And what does the Bible say would be happening before the Lord returns? So that's why we bring out articles like this. I wanted to go through all 17, just naming them like I mentioned. And then we'll grab some corresponding precepts. So this one says, number 1, declining GDP growth. Remember, 17 signals that the economy might be in big trouble. The first is declining GDP growth. The second is high inflation rates, and that's pretty obvious to tell. The third is skyrocketing national debt, and really debt on all levels, all the way down to individual consumers. Fourth is rising unemployment rates, and we're seeing that easily. Just family and friends. Just look out in the world, talk to people, and it's hard to find jobs. So rising unemployment rates. Falling consumer confidence, declining stock market performance, inverted yield curve, and that has to do with interest rates, bank closures and bailouts, and you can just type that into Google and look up different bank closures and different bailouts happening. Number 9 says hyperinflation, decreased business investments, housing market decline, for sure, increase in bankruptcies, high levels of personal debt, there we go. 14 says currency devaluation. 15 says political instability. 16 is increased gold prices. And the last one, 17, social unrest. So like I mentioned, all we did was just read each specific one. If we were to read a little bit of each, the video would be pretty long, and I don't want that to be the case. But all of these were pretty much straightforward. Certain things you might have to look up, like the inverted yield curve, things like that. But for the most part, rising national debt, personal debt, social unrest, the price of gold, hyperinflation, things like that, bankruptcies. You can just talk to your family and friends and kind of see certain things like that happening. Look up different articles. You don't have to do too much digging around. So all of this are just signs that America's economy could be in big trouble. Now, we know that all of this has a play in prophecy because the Bible prophesies of this economy going down. And we can read a similar message here in the book of Ecclesiastes 12. Verse 1, it says, "Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them." So basically it's saying, remember the Lord right now in your youth, meaning while you have this strength, So think about the Lord right now. What does he require? What's his will? What's his purpose for you? What should you be doing? So think about all those questions and more right now. And it says, while the evil days come not, meaning before the evil days come. And the evil day, remember the word evil just breaks down to a bad time. That evil day or that bad time is going to be when there's an economic collapse here in America and really around the world as well. But prophecy in the Bible is primarily focused in America, or on America. So the evil days, the bad time is going to be when there's an economic collapse, and that coincides with Jacob's trouble, which coincides with what the Bible says is going to be a time like never was nor shall be. So we can easily see signs, and we line these things up with Bible prophecy. So remember and think about the Lord right now before those things happen. Verse 2, it says, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. And that just represents knowledge and wisdom and understanding being taken away. So think about the Lord right now before the true knowledge of the scriptures and understanding of these prophecies are hard to come by. Verse 3 says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. So before there's some kind of stock market collapse, before it says the grinders cease, before the grinders are the workers, so before there's no more jobs. This is describing that evil day. Also going along with those 17 signs of an economic collapse. So before the collapse happens, we see the signs happening currently right now. Okay, so think about the Lord right now and what his will is, what you should be doing. Ask for mercy right now. Repent right now before all these things happen, because you see the signs once again. We read 17 of them, and I'm sure if you really thought hard about it, you could think about more. So we know that day, the economic collapse is coming, the day of Jacob's trouble. Let's also go here, because I think one of the, one of the 17 signs, it talked about consumer sentiment. Let me go find that again, because now it's on my spirit. Sure, social unrest. Oh, and it says protests, strikes, increased crime rates. All signs of an economy might be in trouble. But let me find this real quick. Political instability, high levels of personal debt, house market decline, bank closures, inverted yield curve, declining stock market, falling consumer confidence. Consumer confidence measures how optimistic people feel about their financial future and spending power. When confidence dips, people tend to save instead of spend, slowing economic activity. A prolonged drop in consumer confidence is often an early signal of economic downturns. So basically, it measures how optimistic people feel about their financial future and spending power. So let's go here to the book of Isaiah. And let me see. I believe I'm looking for 28. If not, then I'll just type it in. Nah, not 28. Judah is warned. 26. Let's go to 24. Yeah. Here we go. Isaiah 24, and I'm going to jump right to verse 7. It says, the new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, all the merry-hearted do sigh. As a matter of fact, I like reading this in the NLT, so I'll do that. Have it up on the right. Isaiah 24. Yeah. Yeah, verse 7 is good. In the NLT, it says, "The grapevines waste away, and there is no new wine. All the merrymakers sigh and mourn. The cheerful sound of tambourines is stilled. The happy cries of celebration are heard no more. The melodious chords of the harp are silent." And you know, a big reason why this is going to happen is because people are looking at their financial future. They're looking at the outcome of hyperinflation, the outcome of higher interest rates, the outcome of not being able to buy homes and get loans, start businesses, things like that, not being able to purchase food in the quantity that they're used to. And that's going to make what? All those that were cheerful, they're going to be no more heard, no more happy cries. It says the happy cries of celebration are heard no more. Right? There's going to be no more merry-hearted individuals playing music. And of course, this is just an analogy, but it's just referring to, like we read, a falling consumer confidence. That's what that is. A falling consumer confidence. So this right here in Isaiah 24, what we're reading, is a sign of an economic collapse. Isaiah 24 basically outlines falling consumer confidence. People's future, especially when it comes to their finances, they're not looking good right now. It's grim. It's grim. So all signs of an economic collapse. Let me see. There was one more precept that I wanted to grab. There were a few I had in mind, but there was one specific one. Right. It's Jeremiah. Let me get out of the NLT. It's probably 51. Jeremiah 51 verses 8 and 9. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed, and balm is a healing ointment. Babylon here is referring to America. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. So Babylon, America, is going to be destroyed. That's biblical prophecy. Before it's completely destroyed, there's going to be an economic collapse that leads up to that destruction. That's the time of Jacob's trouble. We're bringing all this out. Why? Because it's very clear, based upon these 17 signals and more, that the economy of America is in trouble. This is how we measure the time diligently, like the scriptures say, and this is how we know that we're living in the end days. As a matter of fact, I'll close off with that precept right here. 2 Ezra 9 and 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. Measure the time. See what's going on in the world and line it up with biblical prophecy. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So when you measure the time and when you see certain signs are coming to pass that the Lord said will be happening in these end days, then it says you'll understand, okay, we're living in the time in which the Most High is beginning to visit this world. And he's going to truly visit it by way of his Son when he returns. Verse 3 says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So wars, rumors of wars, right, uproars of people, right, and that was one of the 17 signs as well. And all of this, right, all of this is biblical prophecy. You could probably find a verse for each all 17 signals that the economy might be in big trouble. Okay, then it says, you shall well understand that the Most High spake of these things, meaning what? All of this is ordained to happen. And we're looking forward to it, because now we know that Yahweh Shai is close to returning. So Lord's will, this was edifying to the elect. Kol Haloyim, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Nachakudash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.